Together we stand, a family so strong, in unity of Sun Lakes where we all belong. With love in our hearts, we share the
I'm not supposed to be up here today. Jill was ill and texted me and said, "Can you cover for me?" And I said, "Sure," even though I might stumble my way through the service. So if I do, I apologize. I'm trying to remember who's doing what today. But we would like to welcome everybody, but especially those who are not normal visitors or not here very often. And I know we have at least one of those, Bridget. So you want to tell everybody who you are?
I am Jeannie's cousin from Wisconsin, down for the sunshine.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not a normal.
You have the horse.
Well.
Far past through everyone.
I meant I'm not normal.
I know.
We're all well aware of that, Bart. But thanks for reminding us. Anybody else? Anybody else visiting us? Okay, hey, come on, stand up, and if you don't mind, let us know who you are.
I'm Sylvia Sprague.
Hey, hi Sylvia.
Hi.
Well, everybody, we love to welcome all our friends, so let's do it. We love you, we bless you, and we welcome you. I hope you felt the love, Bridget and Sylvia.
I did.
Well, we want to thank Helen for today's flowers. There were actually 2 sets of flowers when we
Jeannie brought them.
and Jeannie brought them too. Thank you.
Yeah. Jeannie and Bridget.
And we have Cerise singing for us today, and that is always a treat. So let's hear it for Cerise.
Okay. Yay.
The answer is yes, of course we will. Okay, thank
No more worries, no more doubts. Today's my day for a miracle. Gonna get up, dance and shout. Today's my day for a miracle. Today's the day the Lord has made. This is my day. Today's my day for a miracle. Today's my day for a miracle. Accepting only the best for me. Today's my day for a miracle. Living my life full and free. Today's my day for a miracle. Today's the day the Lord has made. This is my day. Today's my day for a miracle. Today's my day for a miracle. Giving more of myself today. Today's my day for a miracle. 'Cause what I give comes back my way. Today's my day for a miracle. Today's the day the Lord has made. This is my day. Today's my day for a miracle. Today's my day for a miracle. Today's my day for a miracle. Yes! Bring it on!
Amy's excited about that song. She said, "Bring it on!" Miracle for sure. Thank you, Cerise. And now we'll have our opening prayer by Reverend Tony, and I'll bring her a mic. And then after that, I believe we have Daily Word. Who's doing the Daily Word? Would you help? Helen, thank you. And then the meditation afterwards by Frederick. Okay. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How do we come to church on Sunday morning? We come with anticipation, come with joy, we come with gratitude. So let's just be silent for a moment and feel those feelings within you. We do give thanks for this church, for our service today. We know that Reverend Jeanne is inspired with exactly the message each of us will hear, either in song or word or smile or hug, a message. And so we're open and receptive to that message. And yet there is that feeling of compassion. What can we do to help those that are in the way of the fires or in the blizzard in the south? What can we do? We can quiet those thoughts that come up regarding the situation. And we can go into that knowing place, that wanting place, that we know that we are one with that divine presence, the one presence and power, and we are guided to hold that vision of wholeness, that vision of perfect right action for all of those people. Just imagine the quiet, the winds died down, the strength and energy for all of those responders that we are so blessed to have. And so we come with different expectations, but knowing that God is good and today is a blessing and we are grateful, and so it is.
Our daily word for today is gratitude. And practicing gratitude leads to the best life has to offer. Finding the good in situations, even undesirable ones, and feeling grateful is a spiritual superpower. Practicing gratitude is living in the faith that blessings of all kinds are constantly unfolding and the goodness of God is in all things. Maybe I'm not experiencing my superpower right now. It's kind of hard with all the stuff that's going on around us, and especially when we have people directly involved that we love and care for, and even if we don't know them, we're sending them our best. So my interpretation of this paragraph is, if finding the good in undesirable situations sounds Pollyannish to you at this particular time, perhaps instead of the terminology finding the good in undesirable situations, substitute, what lesson can I learn here? Everything that happens in our lives has a lesson attached to it, and sometimes we really have to look and think, could I be doing this that helps people? Okay, now back to the daily word. Gratitude keeps us positive, helping us expect the best and not the worst. It opens our hearts to the existing blessings and primes us to receive even more. Living with an attitude of gratitude is simply magnetic. It means going forth with the expectation that you will have what you need when you need it. You will meet the people you need to meet and be in the right place at the right time. In prayer, give grateful thanks and rest assured the highest and best outcomes are on their way to you. From Psalm 136:1. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for all of us. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all of us. And there's quite enough faith and quite enough power to set each life abloom. For spirit, yes, spirit is in this very room. In this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. And there's quite enough faith and quite enough power to set each life abloom. For spirit, yes, spirit is in this very room.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm looking at Bridget because it's cold outside. She came for the sunshine and brought the cold weather. I wasn't scheduled to do this today, and on my way over here, I knew I'd be called to do this, so synchronicity, I guess. So settle in for our meditation by noticing the flow of your breath, breathing in, breathing out, gently breathing in and breathing out. Know that this flow is connected to our connection with the one power, one presence in the universe, our divinity. As we breathe in all that you desire, not only for yourself personally, for our center here at Sun Lakes, for our family and community. And breathe out all that would be a roadblock to our desires. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in the joy that life is. Joy is the context of our life. This context includes the understanding that we are the hands, we are the heart, and we are the voice of God. And so it is. Thank you.
All month long, we are exploring one of the most profound concepts in unity. And it's one of my favorite concepts that compels me to continue to learn more and more. I will be a lifelong learner on this subject. And that is the expansion of the soul and how it relates to our human nature. We have a body, we have a soul, and we have a spirit in this. That's the context of the talk today. We understand the body, our physical body. And we understand spirit, our higher self. But we do not talk very much about the soul, and at least not in my circles. So it's been a wonderful week of exploration, well, a couple of weeks for me now, of exploration on what is our soul? So I'm going to talk about 3 different aspects of our soul today that I've discovered through my research. One is how our soul came to be. 2, we'll discuss the nature or the natural state or behavior of the soul. And then the third is the part of us that makes up our soul. And then I'll wrap it up with a warning and a challenge. But first, a mother took her 2 children to a restaurant, and a 6-year-old boy asked if he could say grace before they ate. As the family bowed their heads, he said, "God is good. God is great. Thank you for the food. And I would even thank you more if Mom gets us ice cream for dessert." And liberty and justice for all. Amen. Along with the laughter from the customers nearby, the family heard a woman remark, "Tisk, tisk, tisk." That's what's wrong with this country. Kids today don't even know how to pray. Asking God for ice cream. Why? I never. How many of you know somebody like that? Especially when you were a child. Yes, stay away. Well, hearing this, the little boy burst into tears, threw himself into his mom's arms and said, "Did I do it wrong, Mom? Is God mad at me?" As the mother held him and loved him, she assured him that he had done a terrific job, and God was certainly not mad at him. Just then, an elderly gentleman approached the table. He winked at the little boy, and he said, "I happen to know that God thought that was a great prayer." "Really?" the little boy asked. "Cross my heart," the man replied. Then, in a theatrical whisper, he added, indicating the woman whose remark had started this whole thing, "Too bad she never asked God for ice cream." A little ice cream is good for the soul sometimes. And he walked off. Naturally, the mom bought her children ice cream at the end of the meal. The little boy stared at his for a moment, and then did something unforgettable. He picked up his sundae, and without a word, he walked over and placed it in front of the woman. With a big smile, he told her, "Here, this is for you. Ice cream is good for the soul sometimes. And my soul is good already." Your soul is good already. You are a sacred vessel, a masterpiece in progress. Remember, you are a divine spark, a reflection of the infinite, born in the image and the likeness of spirit. You are spirit. And you have a soul. The word soul itself comes right in the beginning of the Bible in Genesis, where it says that after 6 days of creation, God took a clump of clay, of earth, from the ground, shaped it into what would become a body. And then he imbued it with his breath, with divine breath. In Hebrew, the word for soul and the word for breath are actually the same word. The soul is like a flame. A flame is constantly flickering. It's restless. So you need to feed that restlessness. And if you try to fight it by saying, I don't want to be restless, I just want to relax, I want to be a couch potato, and I want to do nothing, you're actually undermining your own soul. It's about respecting the mobility and the fluidity and the pulsating action of the soul's constant movement. Imagine taking something that by nature thrives on movement and try to force it into a box. Anybody work in corporate? Imagine taking a human being and locking them in a box. What would we feel like? It's not just claustrophobia. It's just completely unnatural for us to be trapped. Look at young children, the purest version of us. And what do you see? Constant movement. Take a child and try to hold them for too long. A child by nature is constantly moving, and you don't want to stop that because their soul is active. This winter for Christmas, I got to go home and meet my, I think she might have been 8 weeks old, maybe 10 weeks old niece, great niece. And when she's sleeping, of course, she's just heavenly. But when she's awake, the girl is just moving constantly, kicking, and her arms are going, and they're in her mouth and everywhere, just constant. So understanding who you are, that you're not a body that happens to have an energy force called a soul. You are a soul that's traveling through a vehicle called the body. Paul Hasselbeck, titled Heart-Centered Metaphysics, his book titled Heart-Centered Metaphysics is a required textbook at Unity Worldwide Ministries in the ministerial program I'm going through, which provides a modern interpretation of Fillmore teachings of unity. So I've heard many times people say, Charles Fillmore, it's just kind of hard for me to read. Yeah. Check out Paul Hasselbeck, because he takes everything the Fillmore, most of their teachings, and puts them into a way that we can understand beautifully. So a lot of my material comes from that book today. So Hasselbeck describes the soul as a mental, emotional aspect of our being. It acts as an intermediary between our spiritual essence, the Christ within, our divine identity, and our human experience. So I was trying to think of how I could explain that, and I thought of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's the inside that I love so much. You've got the top layer of bread, which is spirit, and the bottom layer is our body. But on the inside is that yummy peanut butter and jelly. And that's where all the goodness is. Where all the flavor and color comes from. Well, so it is with the soul. It's between the spirit and the body. The soul is the realm of decision. In the soul lives your mind, will, emotions, and your personality. Your mind is what you imagine. will is what you want. Your emotions, what you feel. The soul is the neutral ground between the body and the spirit. Hello, thank you.
Let there be light.
The soul is the neutral ground between the body and the spirit. It is the place where free will is exercised. The soul is eternal, and everyone has one. In metaphysical terms, the soul is not separate from the body or spirit, but it is an essential component in the holistic understanding of human nature. So as I thought about that this week, as an intermediary between my spiritual essence and my human experience, I thought, well, maybe it's one of the voices in my head, my soul. Maybe when I get triggered, one of those voices is my soul talking to me. Or maybe it's more of a guide when I'm triggered. Remember, Hasselbeck says it's the mental, emotional aspect of our being. So years ago, I turned to smoking cigarettes during a rough time in my life. And I would smoke that cigarette and beat myself up so bad at the moment when I'm smoking. Why am I doing this? What am I doing? And I think that was my soul saying, you're not in alignment with your higher spirit. What are you doing? I think it was my soul. Who was beating me up inside? Was it my soul saying, hey, 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 we need to stop this. You're not in alignment with spirit. And then on the emotional side of the soul, we have emotions like happy, sad, mad, glad. When we get triggered, is it our soul that presents the emotion of mad because we're not in alignment with our soul? Could it be? It's like you got a buddy in there. Long time ago, Barbara Horton and I, we attended Landmark Education. Has anyone else gone to Landmark Education? Ooh, ooh. Can I see those hands one more time? Very cool. Okay. We have more things to talk about. So at Landmark, we learned some very valuable skills in understanding how our human machinery, the mind, works. Again, my passion. And one of those skills was that when we find ourselves angry, we find we're never angry at who or what we think we're angry at. And ultimately, after we've dissected the issue, we find we're really only angry with ourselves every time. And if you think about it, if we're all one, then really no one else exists. And we're all mirrors of ourselves. But that's a talk for another day. Let's imagine that you have issues with setting boundaries, and someone oversteps your internal boundary. Well, it's easy to blame. It feels like it's out there. They're stepping on a boundary. And sure, there may be an impact to the behavior over there that's impacting me over here. But ultimately, if you never set a boundary, then ultimately you're mad with yourself. Does that make sense? Is this on? Hello?
Let's swallow for a second.
Hello?
But there's a huge gift over here. Triggers are gifts from your soul. They don't feel like it in the moment, However, if you get brave, if you get curious, and you really look at why you got triggered, you will find the gift. And it usually shows up in a lesson. Like in the previous example, it means I gotta be willing to stand up to speak my boundaries. That's the lesson. Many times our gifts are hidden from our view. And it takes talking to another person, working it out with another person because they can see it. We're all one, we've all done these things. You can see it. So if you're stuck on something, reach out, get help. There's nothing wrong, you just want to see what it is. And once you find that gift, you turn back into oneness. That's why it's called a gift, because it puts you back into the present. What's the present? Your higher self. Home. Hasselbeck says, with this alignment, the soul acts as a bridge, transforming the negative emotions and thoughts into learning opportunities, causing empathy and personal growth for yourself. I also said last week that I would touch a little bit on divine mind. Your spirit is your connection with God. It is the innermost part of your being, the center of who you are, the source of your identity. Your spirit is the deepest part of you, and your spirit knows perfect fellowship with God. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 10 through 12 states, and we have received God's Spirit, not the world's spirit, so we can know the wonderful things God has freely given us. Every believer has the privilege of internal, eternal connection with God. The divine mind is considered the ultimate source and reality. It embodies infinite intelligence and love, and it is the creative power underlying all of existence. And we are expressions of divine mind, meaning that individuals have access to this infinite wisdom and creativity through their own minds. Hasselbeck emphasizes the importance of aligning our personal mind with divine mind to realize our divine potential. And we talked about this last week. How do we align with our higher self? We meditate on a regular basis. We pray. We use our affirmations and denial statements to consciously connect to the divine mind. He also discusses the idea of a collective consciousness that affects individual perceptions and experiences, and how awareness of divine mind can help transmute any limiting beliefs absorbed from this collective. And we're going to talk about that later in the month. Collective consciousness, how it affects us. Now on to our warning label. As we continue to get involved in the material world, materialism actually numbs our soul. It starts to freeze up. It starts to harden not just our arteries, but it also affects our movements, our flexibility, free abandon, the imagination, and dreaming. It begins to stunt it. It begins to limit it. So as we get older, the spirit, which is so free and like a flame, can be confined. We might find ourselves saying things like, I'm not in the mood. I've been very disappointed. I don't want to try anything new. And so what we're really doing, again, we're undermining the very fiery nature of the pulsating energy of our soul, of our breath. So it's really good to keep in mind that our soul is our breath, and our breath is constantly moving. Would anyone here consider stopping breathing for a moment? Anyone? No. It's necessary. It's the breath of life. And that is our soul. The problem in the world, though, is that everything is over-industrialized and over-commercialized. Rush hour creates this type of high-octane energy around us, but it's not completely natural to us, so that's why we have this inner conflict. We get frustrated with that, and that's why many of us go off into nature. When I drive up north to Payson, I can feel the stress running out of my body just by looking out at nature. And then stepping into the forests, it's such a renewal. So calming to walk through a forest. So the real goal is to be essentially a meditative and contemplative, soulful human being. A state of being where you're in touch with that inner self, and your body and all of your material activities are just vehicles, channels, and containers to allow that soulfulness to express itself. That's the goal. So when you really get to master meditation, you come to discover the natural, essential self. It's quite different, isn't it? Yeah. The truth is, the real you is really a very simple, innocent child. A breath. So I have another challenge for you this week. Last week I asked you to start meditating, if you did not have a meditative practice, to start meditating every day in the same place when you get up in the morning. Or I guess I don't have to control that. You can do it whenever, but try to do it at the same time of day in the same place. And start with 5 minutes. And then after that 5 minutes to pull out a journal and just write something. Even if it's, I just sat down and meditated for 5 minutes. But it's something to get you started in your journaling. How many of you have done that this week?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Those of you that have done it, have you benefited? Has it been worthwhile? Okay, you guys, people are saying it was really worthwhile. So I'm going to bring that challenge to you again, is to meditate every day for 5 minutes and then pull out your journal and write in it. But I'm going to put on top of that challenge to work with your triggers, to journal, was I triggered yesterday? And try to do some work, because when you journal, you have an observer, that presence that will help you work through your triggers. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what happens when you journal about your triggers is it ushers the expansion of your emotional awareness. And being aware of the feelings and the sensations in your body. Because if we don't become aware of them, we continue to live lessons until we can work them out of our bodies. And this requires a commitment, and it requires courage. After you have identified your triggers, then you're going to get the gift. And you'll be realigned with your highest self, which is where we all want to be. And until then, your soul is focused on your body, on the lower aspects of life. It's not up here. Until we work through those triggers, we're stuck thinking we're separate, thinking we're a body, not a soul. So it's so important to work them out so that we can live from our higher self. So that's your challenge. How many accept my challenge? Really? Really? Okay, we'll tune in. Now, I want you guys to know that next week we have a special speaker, Don Ratliff, who will be speaking next week on the law of attraction. So I'm very excited about that. And then when I come back, I'm going to be checking who did their homework. So let's say our affirmation together. I am a soulful human being. I honor my soul's need to be active. I also spend time in silence and in nature to commune with spirit.
Thank you. I needed that talk. Oh, I needed that talk. I hope that everybody who really needed it heard it. I needed it. There's a lot of lessons I've been throwing back because I was mad. So, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, my soul.
Daniel, Mama, we still alive?
Yes. Oh, yes.
I was with him yesterday recording my new CD. Yes, Daniel Nahmod is producing my new CD.
He wrote so many songs.
He's written tons and he's still touring and we got to get him out here. So he can sing to us.
Cerise, that was beautiful. Thank you. And now it is time to share our blessings and our gifts with the church and with the Spirit. And we realize a lot of people give online, and we appreciate that. And those of you who are watching online, thank you. And anybody sitting here. And let's give our offering blessing. Divine love, richly flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful for the blessings of this day. I am grateful for the blessings on the way. And we have another song by Cerise.
Well, it's a song by all of us. We're going to sing it together. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I give. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed.
Give thanks for the givers and the receivers of these gifts and know that each will be blessed tenfold. And so it is.
So it is.
Charles Fillmore was 92 years old when he made this famous statement. Let's say this statement together. I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and spring forth with a mighty faith to do the things that ought to be done by me. Hear, hear. And then for prayer today, if you would like personal prayer, Barbara Kelly has offered to be our prayer partner for today. And then if you want to take a picture of this, to have Silent Unity's phone number handy. I mean, I don't know how many times a week I get phone calls asking me to pray for people, and I always say I also will call Silent Unity because they pray this same prayer for 30 days. It's amazing. Yes, it's warm in here.
She has a thing.
I saw Diana Perez yesterday,
while I was shopping. And she said she loves everyone very much and she misses everyone. She's just had really a lot of death in her family and has really had a hard time getting herself together to come. So she hasn't forgotten about us, she hasn't left. She just needs some extra prayers.
Oh, thank you. That's Amy saw Diana Perez and she's asked for prayer, for support. Thank you. We also have in our mirror room on Wednesdays from 1 to 1:45, Elise Ratliff will be doing the balance and stretch program. It's a training program. Is that?
That would be good.
January 22nd.
Thank you. It's the 22nd. Thank you, Elise. And then on the 29th, in the mirror room at 1:30 to 3:30, Julia will be leading a drum circle, a Lunar New Year drum circle. Julia?
There's also one this Wednesday for the full moon from 1:30 to 3. So
In the mirror room?
In the mirror room.
Beautiful. Everyone hear that?
No.
What did you say again? This Wednesday.
This Wednesday, 1:30 to 3.
1:30 to 3 for the full moon. Julia will be leading a drum circle. And then of course we have our usual suspects, our Reiki group and our prayer team and our metaphysical team meetings. We have a food drive today for Matthew's Crossing. And if you had, brought canned goods or if you would like to give a cash donation, we have a box on the way out for Matthew's Crossing, which is our local food help for the homeless. And this is Save the Date. In March, we're having this fantastic duo. I see lots of smiles. They're fabulous. Armand and Angelina. They will be doing the Sunday service on March 23rd. They'll be doing music and message. And then on Monday, they're leading a flute workshop. How many of you have attended one of their flute workshops? Yeah, they're phenomenal. They teach you literally how to play with background music, lead flute. And they also have an opportunity to sell their flutes. I have one. It's really, they make it so simple. And it's a beautiful flute.
It's not the end until it's the end. That's what they say.
And we also have Cindy and Jeff brought zucchini. Is it from your own garden?
No, we've got a great big box of food
Okay.
that we're sharing.
They're sharing? So there's some vegetables in bags on the way out. Save me some, please.
Don't take them home.
Julia?
There's a sign-up sheet for the Sunday brunch next week. So if you want to go, please sign up. So
Thank
we
you.
can at least reserve a table.
Thank you, yes. Anything else? Julia?
There are business cards back there with our name and our service time. Grab some, give them out, because people ask, where do you go to church? What do you do? Hand them a card, say, come and
Thank you, yes. And then Zohar, did you want to make an announcement about the scarves?
Okay. Of course. You'll make sure it's
Yes, at 11:30 today, I will be doing a little.
Can't hear.
At 11, can you hear me now?
Better.
Better? Good, okay. At 11:30 today, in the mirror room, I have brought the silk fan veils and will be teaching you how to use them on the service before Valentine's Day. If you would like and have been able to attend some rehearsals, very simple, 2 minutes long, you're invited to do a spiritual or spirit dance to bring more love into our community and the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Zohar. And now let's all stand and sing our closing song, which Cerise will be guiding us through. And then we'll close with the peace song. Sorry, the prayer for protection.
Wait,
no.
We're going to
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've gotta let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you've got to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Now sing it like you mean it. Peace and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Free in the Spirit. I'm only here for God. I'm only here for
Aren't these mandalas so cool up here? Great job on the mandalas, you guys. Judy, that was beautiful. And now we'll close with the light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. And the presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, because you are, and I am, the I am, and so it is. Amen. God bless you all. Have a wonderful week.
We walk side by side in this